How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today, guys, we have a few more things to talk about in regards to Ananta, as we have ourselves a lot of new information from TGS. So let's get started with the first thing, which is news about an expected release date. Apparently, in the Ananta Famitsu magazine article, it is said that the game is scheduled to release sometime in 2026, and apparently you'll be able to play it on Android, iOS, PC, and PS5. Apparently, Xbox is not included there. However, the PC and PS5 versions would come out first. We also have a further explanation again here from another news source saying Ananta expected release date. According to the leading game magazine Famitsu, Ananta is expected to release in 2026, likely around July or later in the year, which, hey, that sounds pretty great. I mean, that would be practically what, like 9 months from now, give or take, if it was, I mean, to be in July, unless I'm getting the dates wrong here. I could be a bit of an idiot, but that's besides the point. Basically, it's saying it's been officially announced that the game will debut on PC and PlayStation, with Android and iOS versions to follow afterwards. Again, no mentions of Xbox, which also kind of makes sense, since it does seem like Sony is putting a lot of, like, attention on this game, given that it's on their official channel with the trailer reveal and all that kind of stuff. It seems like they're going to be involved with the game to some extent, even though they're not making it. Obviously, they're not developers of the game, but they seem to be invested in it because it would do well if this game was on their platform before anywhere else, and if it ends up becoming super popular. So again, it does seem like the release date is at the moment a tentative one, but still, even the ability to know that it might be coming is kind of awesome. But that's not the only thing. Release date is one thing, but we have more. So, the other thing we have is actually, well, 4 things, which is 4 characters that have been confirmed, well, characters that we either knew about, but we haven't seen in a while, and that being, well, 4 of them. First up, Mechanika. Yes, Mechanika has an introduction. We get to see some gameplay of it as well, that somebody was able to capture. Her introduction, she has a whole quest line that you can do with her, which is pretty cool. So Mechanika is confirmed to be in the game, more or less. Again, a lot of people were speculating that most of the characters were going to be removed, that were there during, like, the reveals for, like, Project Mugen, you know, before it was called Ananta. However, now it seems like they are confirming a lot of those old characters are still in here. They haven't removed them. Things haven't changed in that regard. They're still going to be present no matter what, which is pretty awesome. But there's that. But that's not the only one, though. Mechanika is one, but we have more. Ringo is another one, and she was spotted in the selfie mode UI, which again doesn't necessarily confirm that she's in the game, but there has been some sort of, like, a few different, like, artworks that have shown up of Ringo, which seem to confirm that she should be in the game as of right now. Again, no confirmations, but it does seem like she's gonna be in there without a doubt. So at least Ringo is confirmed as well, but it doesn't end there. We have a few more, and that being Dila. Now, Dila is still real. Yes, she is in the game, and there's an entire, like, section where a player got to play, and you can, like, no joke, straight up do an entire, like, date with her, like a whole dating sim. It's interesting, but it is in the game. She's in the game, so if anybody was worried about her not being in here, I mean, I think she's one of the characters that was most likely going to remain, so it's not really that surprising, but there you go, she's confirmed as well. But she's not the only one, we have 2 more. And now, of course, would be Mimika. Now, we already knew that she was in here because we kind of saw her in one of the more recent trailers, I think, so it's not that crazy, but yes, she is in the game too, but she's not the final one. There is still one more character, and it's a character that, like, people seem to have kind of glossed over, but it's Enimo. Now, Enimo is, like, this cowgirl character. I haven't seen much of her before, but it does seem like she's in here too. Actually, the most likely confirmation of her was all the way back in, like, the most recent Ananta trailer we had, where they specifically show this one picture in the corner, which you can kind of gloss, and it seems to be of her specifically. Again, there's no confirmation that it is her, but it does look like it is Enimo. And again, all these characters could end up not being in the game, but it's most likely they will be, based at least on the fact that they are somewhat confirmed at the moment, you know, based on all the stuff we've been witnessing. But yeah, the next thing is, apparently we have the complete map of Ananta from TGS's 2025 demo, and this is coming to us from Ananta.ru, so shout out to them for actually compiling this. But they were able to somehow piece together a bunch of screenshots from different sorts of gameplay to combine essentially into one image to show what the map seems to look like. And I'm gonna say it right out now, it looks pretty freaking large. It's a decently sized city, and something they did tell us as well, like when they spoke to one of the developers and one of the, I think, project leaders of Ananta, they actually confirmed something in the Famitsu, like, interview, which was that apparently this wouldn't be the only location. Very similar to other gacha games or something like Genshin Impact, they will be adding other zones, other maps, other locations entirely into the game, which that just means that we're going to have a lot to play, and there's going to be loads of potential there. Like, they could start things off with this city, but then expand into other cities, other locations. I mean, they can go so many directions with this. They could literally go from a, you know, like an urban city like this, and then just decide, okay, we're going to add an island where we're going to base it in the Western style, like literally make it like an old Western or something with like cowboys and, you know, horses and stuff. And then they can make another island. Like, again, the point is there's a lot of room for expansion here and a lot of ways that they can expand it and make it even larger. And just looking at this map, it does seem, again, significantly large enough with enough places to explore and check out and do things within that you're not going to be especially bored. You're going to have a lot of things to do within the city. And also keep in mind, this is just a map as of right now. The map can obviously change. There will be additions added. There will be things removed, you know, and so on and so forth. Again, there's a lot of things that can change over time. It's not an end-all be-all what we see right now. There will be more things included over time, but this is definitely a sick looking map. Trying to like pinpoint exactly what is what. We could try to do a video if you guys want to see that, trying to pinpoint the exact map and where everything from the trailers connects to try to make like an interactive map of sorts to see where everything is based on this map. But again, this is also just the demo. It could be that the real map is like 10 times bigger than this. We don't know. I don't think anybody's confirmed that as of yet. Nobody's specifically mentioned it, but it's not like it's gigantic, this world, but it's large enough that we'll have a lot of fun and a lot of times to enjoy ourselves in here until they release like future updates with more locations and stuff, which that in itself shouldn't be impossible, because by the time like the game comes out, we'll have an entire, you know, like maybe a year worth of content to just go through and have fun with before they slowly start, you know, kind of adding extra things and eventually adding an entire new region. Of course, if the game does well, then obviously that will be the case. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I thought I would share with you guys and see what you guys think. So let me know in the comment section down below. Again, if you like these videos, I would appreciate if you guys would subscribe and stay tuned. I'll be trying my best to provide you with all sorts of Ananta content, not just news, but all other things you can possibly imagine when it comes to this game, because I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for this game. I can't wait to see what it's going to be like, and I'll be primarily covering Ananta on this channel, so please stay tuned if you want to. Otherwise, if you don't enjoy the channel, that's totally fine. I'll see you hopefully in the future. Have a great day.